Hello, good morning and good evening to all. Uh, I'm actually welcoming you to the International Translation Day event, which is full of very interesting discussions. And the focus this year is many faces of humanity, translation and interpretation in indigenous languages. Now, we have two special panels here, one on power dynamics and another on technology and translation. As I was thinking of the topic, I recall that almost all scriptures that we have in our tradition, the God is a monolingual God. One doesn't know whether this God speaks in ancient Greek or Latin or Sanskrit or Hebrew or Tamil, but surely not in one of those indigenous languages. So, what are we to do when we are faced with a very large choice of languages? A lot of people will think that there is something called a pure language and something which is an impure language, because quite often in the translation power dynamics, the original text is thought to be pure and the reborn text or the translated text is thought to be impure. Now, I think, to my mind, the translation actually takes us beyond this kind of debate. And none of these texts is superior. Neither the original nor the new generated text. Actually, translation teaches us to be free and yet have a kind of bondage with the original. Now, this is a very interesting socio-political model, and to that extent, I think it is very important for us to see that as many texts as possible, which are purely oral texts available in indigenous languages, can now go to the mainstream languages. And I realize this that it is often thought to be a curse for dialects or unwritten languages that they do not really have the fruits of translation. There's so much of translation happening almost every day. So it should be modified. Otherwise, as the Ghalib poetry says, इशरत कतरा है दरिया में फना हो जाना, that as if the fate of the droplets is only to be consumed by the ocean. So in the ocean of humanity, ocean of majority languages, we should not let our indigenous languages be submerged. On the other hand, there is also a debate in power dynamics of translation, whether all the languages should be chiseled, polished, perfected, and written down. But at the same time, anybody who belongs to the indigenous community would tell you the pain of not being able to write it down, whatever you feel like, and not facing a situation where other people can read your sentiments and read your texts. So I would also say that some people may think, some elderly people may think among the indigenous groups that writing is an oppression because it forces you to do something which is unnatural. But in today's world, if our languages have to survive, all of our languages will have to survive, then translation is an inability. And no, we can't really believe in the Plato's pharmacy dictum of Derrida, where we heard that Plato had a deep mistrust for writing, influenced by his teacher Socrates, who made a virtue of writing nothing. But today, I think that's not something which we can do. Even if Ferdinando Saussure tells us that writing has a corrupting influence on speech, we still need to write and translate. And it could be a very interesting relationship between the two sides, the melody and the harmony side, as if in the language of Rousseau. But I think our indigenous languages are very melodious, and part of the melody should reach all of us. And we have a very interesting panel on both these topics, and there are individual case studies and presentations. I'm sure you will enjoy them. Thank you.